Hello. I wanted to start by saying the irony is I almost took myself out of the game because I didn't dry my hair properly this morning. But what I want to talk about is where subconsciously we take ourselves out of their game time and time again. And I almost didn't do this video because I was like, oh, like I've put a bit of makeup on, but I haven't like blow dried my hair properly. Maybe I'll do it later. And the thing is, I won't have time to do it later. I've got a full day, I've got a full week, I've got two children, I've got stuff to do. I need to make it now. You can hear my baby in the background. Let's see if we can do this before. Who knows if we can. But I almost took myself out of the game because I didn't feel perfect or enough or professional enough. And I want to explore this and see across the board where we're not going. She's making some really weird noises. Where we're not showing up or putting our hand up or being in the game, basically. So I did this event with Stylist on Saturday, and it was all about investment, money, negotiating, rates, all that kind of financial stuff. Now, I wasn't there as a financial advisor because I'm clearly not one, but I was there in terms of asking for money, how you know when you can take the leap, and all of that sort of stuff, and giving away tangible tips. And I think it's fantastic that more of these things are popping up and there are more places to have this conversation, because I want to share something with you that I wrote the other day about where people take themselves out of the game financially. So one thing that I used to think was that I would only ever get one chance. I only thought there would be one lucky break, and if I missed that, then it was game over. That was my lot, as it were. And there were a few times in my career where, and this is as an actor, I guess, where I've had such a near miss. So like there was a big show that I got down to the last two for, and it was me and the other girl, and I saw how her journey, how her career rocketed from there. And it was interesting to watch my own mindset in that way, because I so easily could have gone, well, that's it for me now. Like, I've missed the boat. That was it. The universe gives you one opportunity, and I missed it. So what now? And the thing is, it's not the case. Like, opportunity is absolutely everywhere, but you've got to know where to look for it. The second thing, you couldn't be creative and earn well. Again, this pops up all of the time for us. We're assumed that we have to be starving artists, or we have to go through pain and hardship and sorrow before we can create the good work. Yes, of course, that's part of the journey, and I think sometimes, sorry, I keep saying journey all the time, but I think that was what was refreshing about my portfolio career on Saturday, is that I was saying, I hear you. I've had bad months. I've had great months. I've had a bit of an up and down roller coastery type career. So I do think it's good to have those lessons, even though they feel tough and hideous and shit at the time. They are all part of the process as well. But I used to feel like I had to be either working as an actor, or I was like waitressing or nannying or doing jobs basically I didn't want, putting on bras on hangers in shops that I didn't want to be doing. And it turns out the people at the top are doing more than one thing, especially in the acting industry. They're writing, producing, having cookbooks rather, clothing lines, they're opening salons, they're doing all sorts of things. So I feel like we have to all come to this point where we can actually own it and going, yeah, cool, I'm doing all of these things. And one thing that I shared on Saturday is I couldn't own this portfolio career for a long time because I very much had that northern belief of like, she can't make her mind up. And it's not true. Like, we're multifaceted people. We can do lots of things. Okay, the third thing that I wanted to say was when I am stressed about money, I'm not doing my best work. I'm not doing a contemporary dance about it, or kind of going, gosh, I really need this. Like, when my back is up against the wall, I have to go into practical mode. I can't sit about and cry and weep and watch Grand Designs endlessly as much as I would like to. I've got two children, I've got to make it happen. And so you don't have to go into so much suffering to be able to create good work. The other thing that I stupidly thought would be the case was a rich man would save me, because Disney told us, didn't they? The prince comes along, we're helpless, we have no idea what we're doing, we're looking out a window, we're talking to a bird, and all of a sudden this man gets off his horse and here he is and he's going to save the world. And, you know, this is the thing, that we can't rely on one person or one situation to save everything. And just as an aside, I went on a date with a very rich man many, many years ago. And he told me about the 9 interviews. He took me through the whole process basically over dinner, of like how he got his job in banking and what he did and all the rest of it. And the thing was, he was a really nice person, but he wasn't for me. And he, I think, wanted a wife who was just going to stay at home and mop floors. And anyway, that's another story for another time. Okay, the next thing I want to just say is you don't have to take the first offer. I used to think because the email came through and that was the fee and that was the deal, that I just had to say yes. Oh, thank you very much, that would be great. And sometimes it would be an offer that was dressed up as work, but actually it was like, we would love you to come, we think you're amazing, but we have no budget. And you know, everybody's probably got expenses at least, so it's really important that you ask and you don't necessarily take the first offer. And also, just because payment isn't being offered doesn't mean that there isn't a budget. And time again, one thing that I found is quite often people are very happy to shout about how much money they're earning, what the budget was, but they're not sharing that slice of the pie with everybody. And that's their choice and their decision. However, we need to take responsibilities for ourselves. And I think that's it. Is that it? Yes. So yeah, my final question is for you today is, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you not allowing yourself to get in the game because you're waiting for that perfect time, or until you've got more knowledge, or until you've been in your business for longer? Where are you subconsciously or consciously taking yourself out of it and making yourself play small and convincing yourself that you have to listen to stories that are maybe not helpful to you in your head? I bet there's loads. So maybe that's a really good thing. This is something that I've done in the past as well. Just turn up the brightness of your awareness. The number of times where I always say this analogy on the podcast, where if I'm faffing, if I'm like sorting out recipe books or hanging pictures on the wall, I know there's some sort of fear that's holding me back. I know that I'm procrastinating and I'm in a fear-based place that I can't move forward. So now what I've learned to do is recognize that behavior and move beyond it. Anyway, I guess. So one thing I would love you to do also is to have a look at my £20 shop. This is specifically for you if you've got a specific problem. So it could be not problem, but you need a solution to something and you need to start moving forward, whether that's moving into your confidence, or maybe you're feeling burnt out, you need help with your pricing, all kinds of things. So go and have a look at that. I will leave the details in the description box as always. And yeah, get in the game. That's all I have to say. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.